The question says, solve for x in the radical equation below. Then the parentheses, the cube root of the expression, fifth root of x cubed times what? S to the power of 7 all over what? S to the power of -1 plus the cube root of 512 all squared. This will give us what? 36. First of all, let's begin to simplify it one after the other by applying the rules of indices. First, we are going to simplify this aspect. So we'll be having, let's rewrite the expression by simplifying this aspect. We'll be having the cube root of what? Of the fifth root of x cubed times x to the power of 7 all over x minus 1, x to the power of -1 plus the cube root of this will be equal to 3 to the power of what? So it's the cube root of what? 8 to the power of 3. All of this squared will give us what? 36. So the next step, we are going to repeat this one and simplify this aspect to be the cube root of the fifth root of x cubed s to the power of 7 all over x to the power of -1 plus this will give us 8 cubed to the power of 1 over 3 all squared. This will give us 36. This is because in the laws of indices, when you have root a, this will give us a to the power of 1 over 2. And in this case, we have the cube root. So it will be a to the power of this to the power of what? 1 over 3. But here, there's nothing here, so automatically it's 2. So that's why we raise to the power of 2. So let's simplify. It will be cube root, the cube root of the expression. Let's apply the laws of indices here. The laws of indices here. So it will be the fifth root. We know from indices that when you have a to the power of, let's say, b times a to the power of c, this will give us a to the power of what? B plus c. So we are going to apply that rule here. So it will be, so the base are the same, so you add the exponent to be 3 plus 7 all over x minus 1 plus this will cancel this, it's leaving what? 8 all squared. This will give us 36. In the next, we are going to apply the indices which we use here. So it will be cube root of x, 3 plus this is 10, all to the power of what? The fifth, all over x to the power of -1. Someone will say where we didn't apply the rule that states that when the bases are the same and they're minus and they're dividing, you subtract. Yeah, we can't apply because this one here is not under the radical sign, the root sign here. This one is not affecting this one, so we cannot subtract it directly. Plus 8, this will give us a 36. So let's move on. This one, 5 here 1, 5 here 2. Then we have the cube root of what? X squared all over what? X minus 1 plus 8. This will give us 36. In this case, we can apply the rule. We say that a to the power of b all over a to the power of c. This will give us what? A to the power of b minus c. So we are going to apply that rule here. We are going to apply the rule here. That rule will state that it will be 3 cube root of what? Let's count here. Cube root of x to the power of 2 minus -1 plus 8. This will give us 36. Yes, because here is -1, so it will be cube root of x. This will give us positive, so to the power of 3 plus 8. This will give us 36. Please do not forget that they are all raised to the power of 2. They are all raised to the power of 2. So here 2 to the power of 2, here 2 to the power of 2. So when we apply the rule here again, it will be x. Let's simplify this aspect. So it will be cube x to the power of what? Let's x to the power of 3. Because of the cube root here, it will be 1 over 3 plus 8 all squared equal to 36. Equal to 36. So this will cancel this. Then we have x plus 8. X plus 8 all squared. This will give us 36. In this case, we are going to simplify this, then we use the quadratic formula to solve for x. So this will be x plus 8 multiplied by x plus 8. This will give us what? 36. Simplify this, we get what? X squared plus what? 16x plus 64. This will give us 36. In this case, let's try to bring it here to make it will be x squared plus 16x plus 64 minus 36 is equal to 0. This will give us x squared plus 16x plus 28. This will give us 0. Now we are going to use the quadratic formula, which they mostly call the almighty formula. We say that to find for x will be equal to the negative b plus or minus root of what? B squared minus 4ac all over 2a this is the formula we're going to use. So in this case, our a is the coefficient of x squared. So a is equal to 1. B is what? The coefficient of x, which is equal to 16, and the c is equal to the constant, which is 28. So we are going to plug this into the formula and solve for what? The value of x. Let's move to another page. Then we have what? We have our a to be equal to 1, our b to be equal to what? 16, and our c to be equal to 28. So let's plug it into the formula. The formula is b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac all over what? All over 2a. So let's try to insert the value of x, the values of a, b, and c respectively. So b, we have negative into bracket 16 plus or minus the root of what? 16 squared minus 4 into bracket 1, because our a is equal to 1, into another bracket what? C, which is 28, all over what? All over 2a, 2 into bracket 1. So our x will be equal to negative 16 plus or minus what? The root of 16 squared. 16 squared will give us 256 minus 4 times 28. That will give us 112 all over what? All over 2. Because it's 2, because 2 times 1 is still 1. Any number times 1 is 1. It's the same number, sorry. Then we have x to be equal to 16 plus or minus this will give us, this minus this will give us 4. This minus this will give us what? 4, and this minus this will give us 1. All over 2a. So x will be equal to 16 plus or minus root what? 144 all over 2. But we know that the root of what? 144, that will give us what? 12. So it will be x is equal to negative 16 plus or minus what? Plus or minus 12 all over 2. Now we have two signs here. So let's try to take it one after the other. First, we are taking the positive one, which is plus. So it will be x is equal to negative 16 plus 12 all over 2. X is equal to negative 16 plus 12. That will give us what? Negative 4 all over 2. So this divide 1, this will go here 2. So our x1 will give us a -2. That is